Hi, Northstat Junior High Special Ed teachers. This screencast is going to help show how we're going to now do the accommodation sheets. In the past, it was a great thing to be able to link that into PowerSchool, but there was a lot of confusion and a lot of different steps that needed to occur to shift ownership from year to year. It wasn't really sustainable. And in that sense, we're very lucky that we decided to start using Team Drive because that eliminates a lot of the complexity of the process. So I have typed up, which you can see here, step-by-step directions for the current procedure, and everyone's responsibilities are listed out step by step, and they're even color-coded. So seventh graders, seventh grade case managers for the incoming seventh graders, you have your instructions here. And then for your old students, you have a very simple instruction. You only need to do one step to make sure that the students will now be placed in the appropriate 8th grade case managers folder. But I'm not going to sit on the screencast and just read it to you because you have access to that. So I'm going to show you how to actually do this stuff. So let's pretend that I am going to I'm a 7th grade case manager, and I have some incoming 6th graders that I need to create accommodation sheets for. I'm going to click right on this link because this beautiful protocol document has everything embedded in it. You can ensure that you have the accurate documents and everything's up to date. So I'm going to click this template and make a copy for each 7th grade student that is going to be on my caseload. When I make the copy, I'm going to call it the student's name. And you're going to notice that it automatically wants to keep it in the folder from where it originated, which is fantastic for our needs because this is actually going to create itself in our Team Drive. Perfect, so don't change it. Hit OK. You'll notice that the template looks a little bit different. I just adjusted that for easier viewing, more organization. Important to notice that we are, however, this year including the goal areas of the students. A lot of the past accommodation sheets did not include that information. That's something that we want to be sure is on here because if a student, for example, only has a goal in math, the reading teachers, all the other teachers need to understand that to prevent over-serving the students. So please include that information. So you're going to fill this out for the student. And once it's all updated, you've done all you need to do in here. Make sure that you're including the date that the most recent IEP. So once that's all done, you can go ahead and close it. And what we need to do now is just worry about staying organized. So what you'll notice here is that this document, like I told you, very nifty, created itself in our accommodation sheets for PowerSchool folder. Fantastic. But we want to organize a little bit more than that. So what you need to do after that is just slide it from the general space in the folder into your particular folder. So I'm going to pretend I'm Judy Arner. And so that way it's going to stay organized. So then by the time you've done that for all of your students, you will then see an accommodation sheet for every one of your current 7th grade students. That's all you need to do for that. So now I'm going to pretend, like do a little rewind, and let's make believe that John Smith was a 7th grader last year, and now he's going to be an 8th grader. So I'm shifting over to that 7th to 8th grade rollover process. This is going to be much easier than last year. So say Judy Arner was this kid's 7th grade case manager, and for some reason he's now going to be on Susan's caseload. I know this doesn't make any sense, but follow me. So all Judy needs to do to get her old 7th grader ready for 8th grade is she can open up the folder. There's a couple different ways to do it, or open up John's accommodation sheet and go to File, Move To, and she is just going to move it right into Susan's folder. So that's helping both of them stay organized because Judy doesn't have John's information in her folder anymore since he's not on her caseload, and Susan has had it placed into her folder for her. So let us go back and look at our team drive. You'll see that Judy does not have any files anymore, and that Susan now has John's folder. So we don't have to worry about that access, anything like that, because technically if Susan wanted to edit John's sheet anywhere in our team drive, she would be able to. That's a good thing, but it can also get a little bit dangerous sometimes, so we have to be really mindful about what we're changing, making sure that we have the correct document before any changes are made. But anyway, that's how you're going to go ahead and do that. So now we're going to make believe that John was an 8th grader last year and he is going to the high school. Okay, so again, it used to be a big, huge deal about what we needed to worry about. What we need to do now is go to John Smith's sheet, the 8th grader. By the way, I missed a super important step. I didn't change John's sheet to anyone at North Scott with the link can view, which I should have, because otherwise all that stuff in Power School would have been not able to view by anyone. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Sorry, I should have done that right away. And remember, this isn't a confidentiality issue because the only people that are going to have this link, they're going to see it when they open up Power School. So that means that they are, relevant to this student's education. Okay, so anyway, John Smith is an 8th grader. He's going to be a freshman. All the 8th grade case manager needs to do is open up his accommodation sheet, go to File, give it a sec. Okay, Move To. Susan's going to move this out of her folder, and she is going to move it into the folder marked Archived Accommodation Sheets, 9th grade. Okay, so then the folder is out of Susan's because he's no longer her student, and now is inside the Archived Accommodations folder. So once all of these incoming freshmen's documents have been transferred into the archive folder, 8th grade case managers, once you have done that for all of your last year's caseload students, please contact Erin Payson. I will then take the archive folder, get it out of our drive, and I will send it all on to the high school, and you don't need to worry about that. I'll make sure that the right people get those sheets. Again, we don't need to mess with transfer of ownership anymore. So there are more details in the written instructions, but I think that just kind of covers the basics about the technology usage. Again, I apologize for not changing the share settings right away. Another thing that I didn't really speak to when changing those share settings, if you want to make sure that, for example, your paraeducators have access to this, they might not have a Power School account that they can get this link from. So you could certainly just share this with them directly, and you know how to do this. So make sure that they're only view and then send to them. That way they can access. Another step that I didn't really speak to, but is in the written instructions, for those incoming 8th grader or incoming freshmen especially, one of the responsibilities of the 8th grade case manager is to remove any people that have been shared on the document that really no longer need access. if a kid's going to the high school, we don't need to, JH staff doesn't need to have access to this. A lot of this information, like I said before, is not going to be relevant anymore because of the team drive, but just a few things that I wanted to talk about. If you have any questions at all, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to work with you, sit with you, help you. This is really important that all of the teachers have access to all of the students' accommodations from day one of the school year, and this is the way we're going to get it done. I empathize that it was really confusing before, but it's so much more streamlined. So, we need to get this done for our kids. So if you have any questions, again, let Erin know, and I'll be happy to help you.